Jeep's not quite ready to go to Virginia yet, but we do have our sleeping platform in. So we're going to take her on a test run. Hi, I'm Russ. I'm rebuilding a 1977 Mobile Traveler motorhome. This is all about the MT and me. So you know, I actually started telling you about this trip the other day, and then I realized we haven't used that footage yet. So we're going to use it right now.
What are you doing?
Oh, going through my tunics. These, this is gar. This is what we wear when we go to SCA events, Society for Creative Anachronism. I get to play Viking for a few days, so I have Viking clothes. I'm going through it to see, it's been a few years. Some of this stuff I can still wear, but I'm sure there's some of it I can't anymore. More of that. Yeah. I think we got to get rid of some of this stuff, and we're planning a trip to do just that, down to Alexandria, Louisiana, which is 150 miles maybe
about
from
3
here,
hours,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, you know, it's a good day trip down there and back. Take a full day, but we want to turn it into a camping excursion. We'd like to make it our first stab at car camping in ladies. So we're trying to get her ready to make the trip and give us overnight accommodations in the process, and we can get rid of some garb, share it with some of our SCA friends
And new friends.
and new friends, and plus we haven't been to but this is not an event. I think this is just what their fighter practice.
Yeah, their weekly fighter
something
practice.
they hold every week. So, but still, we'll get to see some people we haven't seen in a long time, meet some new people, and just kind of get reacquainted. So it'll be fun, a lot of fun. And if we can turn it into an overnight camping experience in Lady, it's going to give us our first experience at car camping. Yay.
Russ.
What happened to the big pelican sign? We just entered Louisiana and there was no sign. Used to be a big sign of the state there with a pelican on it. We were all ready to go, hey, look, we're in Louisiana, the adventure begins. So, kind of anticlimactic, but we're in Louisiana. Miles to go.
You know how you can tell you're in Louisiana?
How can you tell?
There's a Popeyes on every corner.
That is true. That's very true. The official steak chicken of Louisiana.
My arm's getting tired and we still have not seen a mileage sign. So,
we're about 20 miles, maybe 25 miles from Alexandria. But we're not actually going to go all the way into Alexandria just yet. We're going to stop at a friend's house a few miles this side. And we're going to get with him and go get something to eat. So, we'll get back to you when we start to settle in for the night. All right? Well, we ended up getting to our camping location late. It was after dark. We're tired, so we just set it up. We're about to get some sleep. Tomorrow morning when we get up, we'll show you how we've got it all arranged, how the car camping's going. And we'll give you a report on it too, because this is our first night car camping in Lady. Well, we survived our first night camping in Lady, after a fashion. It had its ups and downs, but we learned a lot of things that we need to tweak and change and work on. That's the important thing right there. This was an experimental trip, so it's paid for itself already. It is a total mess in here, so I'm not going to show you what our camping setup looks like this time until we get it tweaked out, okay? We are going to go find some coffee, and we'll get back to you in just a little bit.
Our king cries forth, we go to war, for glory he is calling. The mighty ram is on the move, oh hail the Gleann Abhann. Sharpened sword, axe and spear before us they'll have fallen. The mighty ram is on the move, oh hail the Gleann Abhann.
We are at a fighter practice for the SCA here in Alexandria, Louisiana. This is we have a couple of friends that are in this group and several more. You know, we mentioned to you that we were bringing some garb and other accessories down for some friends of ours. This is where we're delivering them at. The SCA, I think I explained earlier, the Society for Creative Anachronism. It's a Middle Ages reenactment group. Not exactly a LARP group. It goes a little more, how would you describe it?
Well, why don't we ask them?
Why don't we ask them about it? Let's see if we can find someone to talk to over here. This is Titus. How long have you been in the SCA now?
I started in 2003, so I'm coming up on my 20-year anniversary.
Wow. They like give you a watch for that or something?
No. A lot of bruises.
A lot of bruises. Yeah.
You're a squire,
Yes.
correct?
I am squire to Sir Gaithan Albright from Blackwood Keeps, Monroe.
We know Sir Gaithan well. Yeah. Explain a little bit about how the SCA is organized.
All right, so the SCA stands for Society of Creative Anachronisms. It is a non-profit organization, and it was started in Berkeley. Basically, a bunch of guys got together and hit each other with sticks many decades ago and said, "Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's do it
the
again
sticks
next
and the
weekend."
garbage can lids.
Yep, and it evolved into this. We have remapped the whole world into fictional kingdoms. The kingdom that we're currently in is Gleann Abhann. That's Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Memphis, Tennessee. And within those kingdoms, we have smaller groups called shires. Basically, any major city you go to should have a shire. The one that we're in right now is based out of Alexandria, Louisiana, and it is the Shire of Vogelburg. So any of the big ones, Shreveport, Monroe, Lafayette, Lake Charles, they all have groups.
And these groups will get together in events, what you call events, just about every weekend, especially over the nice weather, there's something going on somewhere.
So within each kingdom, each shire is required to hold one event a year. We have our local events, and the one for our group is called Slay the Dragon. And Slay the Dragon is held once a year, with the exceptions of the pandemic.
The pandemic's changed everything, yeah.
Also, every shire within our kingdom is required to put in a kingdom bid for a kingdom level event. Kingdom level events are events that happen every calendar year, the same year, such as events like Crown List, Fighters Collegium, coronation and stuff like that.
That involve the entire kingdom.
That involves the entire kingdom. These are the ones that come from the kingdoms down. Local shire events like Slay the Dragon is specifically hosted for us for local get-togethers, but the whole kingdom shows up too.
Now there are events where multi-kingdoms show up too, and one of those is happening next week. Gulf Wars 20...
No, 30.
Yes,
30. Gulf Wars 30, yeah, Gulf Wars 30.
Gulf Wars is the biggest event that we have in our kingdom. It is basically Texas, which we call Anciora, fighting Trimaris, which is Florida, and they meet in Mississippi.
So you're the neutral ground
We're
they
the,
meet on.
we're the neutral ground. Now, every kingdom will take sides, where you'll have some kingdom level, or different kingdoms will align with different groups, and basically whenever they do this, they have their wars. You'll have one side line up over here, one side line up over here. It lasts for 7 days. Fighting is kind of the main draw, but we have several other things. They hold classes. They have merchants, A&S classes, arts and sciences. Basically, anything you can imagine that could have been done historically, they redo mundanely and teach how to do it historically. Glass beadwork, it could be textile work, or making clothing and fabrics.
One of the great things about the SCA is that everyone who gets involved takes on what they call a persona. In other words, you look at a period of history that you would like to recreate on your personal level, and you basically make up a person for that era and become that person.
For example, you are Rascal.
I am Rascal, a Viking from around 955, 1000 AD.
And your full name is?
Titus Cornelius Lupinus. I am actually Etruscan. It's a pre-Rome organization, or pre-Rome civilization from around 7th to 8th century BC. Right? Whenever I started, I almost went Gothic German, and I just love the.
Everybody leans towards Gothic German initially. I don't know why.
It's pretty armor. It really is. It's gorgeous stuff. And then my brother, who got me started in Thomas Willoughby, was like, "Hey, why don't you do something a little different?" And we started looking at Roman and stuff. True story. I found out the Etruscans from the old Civilization computer game. He's like, "Try these guys out. Look them up." And I went and I said, "It's kind of cool."
Yeah.
To me, the ancient world, they had technologies that we still have kind of not figured out how they did it back then. I was like, it's amazing what they did for what they had in their time.
Oh yeah.
And the more I looked, the more I liked it. And the rest is history 20 years ago for me.
All right, so.
And that, talking about that, that's where the anachronistic part of the SCA comes in, because nowhere in history would you would have an Etruscan with Vikings or Mongols or anything like that. So the historical part is you take on your persona and you try to recreate it as historically as accurate as you can.
Right.
And that could be with clothing to, in my case, armor, some fighting styles. Some of it, the SCA kind of has its own fighting style, but you try to recreate it as best you can. And some people. The one thing I like about the SCA is it's very friendly. If you want more historical stuff, you can do that. If you want to do more, we call them stick jocks. You just want to come out and do the armed combat, you can do that too. We have room for everyone.
We should point out that in armed combat, we're not using live steel in the SCA. We're using live rattan, which hurts just about as bad as steel does sometimes. Yeah, there you go, yeah.
So rattan, they often kind of misnomer it as like solid bamboo. It's not bamboo, but it is a type of grass. You can see that it actually has insides to it. It's not hollow. My sticks are rather light. If you look at it, you can see the holes in it. The holes allow for a lighter stick, which I can swing faster, but it doesn't hold up very well.
So it
breaks down quicker.
Yeah, I sacrifice durability for a little bit of speed. They modeled it off of, I think, a European baton combat, which knights would commonly do because the king didn't want to completely injure their knights during tournaments, so they would fight with batons.
And so you have what we are here at today is fighter practice, which is just kind of honing your skills. And there's a couple of people over there right now doing it, as a matter of fact. And using swords, other weapons too, because at Gulf Wars, for example, next week you stage like these humongous melee battles that involve hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, on two sides. And it is, you really can't describe it. It's an incredible thing to watch.
It's a fun thing to watch.
It's
a chaotic thing to be in.
And it's kind of on the honor system. Someone whacks you on the head, you say, okay, I'm dead, and you walk off the field.
Yeah, the way the system's set up, it is an honor system, and the way that we judge it is we call it significant force. Did I get hit hard enough that a real sword would have caused significant damage to myself? No matter what you wear, we're all considered to be wearing the same thing, which is just a skull cap and a chainmail shirt. The reason why they do this is because if somebody can go out and buy $2,000 worth of plate mail, and somebody else is out here wearing hockey pads, you can't really judge and say, well, that wouldn't have hurt me because I've got all this plate mail. So we do it as an honor system, and you have to learn to call your shots. Arm, you get shot, you get hit in the arm, you lose use of the arm. You get hit in the leg, you use of the leg, and you have to drop to fight from your knees. Any body blow or head blow is considered a death. Like you were saying, the different weapons, most anything you can think of that they use historically, we try to recreate safely. That's the key. So we'll have glaives, two-handed swords, sword and shield fighters, maces, pole axes. For the big battles like the one we're doing at Gulf Wars, they have stuff. They have combat archery. They'll have trebuchets, catapults, ballistas. So it kind of gets you into it. You know you're not going to get hurt, but when you see a big soccer ball or something flying at you from there, you still don't want to get hit with it.
But at least you can see it coming.
Right. It's kind of hard to judge. Sometimes you got to look at it and move a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. But they really try to recreate that. And at Gulf Wars, one of my favorite battles would be the castle battle. We have a fort set up to represent a castle. One team holds it, the other one sieges it, and then we reverse rolls and do it the other way. And it's all point system. You were waiting for it.
Yes, I was. You're fast. You're quick.
You are quick.
Quick, man.
Any day I can keep up with Mo's a good day.
Yeah, Mo's pretty sharp, I gotta admit. Give him credit.
Very, very unpredictable fighter.
Get your breath, let me talk to you. This is Sir Motan. We were just watching him fight. A little windy.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of you.
The Sir means you are a knight in the SCA.
Right.
Explain a little bit about what that level means.
It's an acknowledgement from the other knights saying that you're their equal. It's handed down by the king. The king makes the knights, and so the knights ends up voting and recommending someone to the king, and the king can act on it or not.
How do you acquire this level? What do you have to do?
Well, the knight has a white belt and a chain that I'm not wearing. My squire has a red belt, showing the blood he'll spill in my service. That he's on a visual path. All other knights will know that he's on the path to become a knight and test him. So that's sort of the way it happens. You're taken as a squire, and you work and work and work until you get acknowledgement.
So you come in, you're taken as a squire under a knight,
right,
and then you work to acquire that same level. Yeah?
Right,
How
right.
many years did it take you to get knighted?
Well, I fought as a mercenary for 10 years, and then I was a squire for 12 years. And I got elevated in 2013, so I'm coming up on 9 years as a knight. Yeah.
Where do you go from there? Are you're a knight? unless you aspire to be king.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a no count knight. If I was to sit the throne once, I would be a count, and if I sit the throne a second time, I would be a duke. So there is places to go beyond that. But yeah, for the most part, that's the highest fighting award there is. Kings come and go, but knights forever.
Yeah, you have a different king like every 6 months, right?
6 months, yeah. Then we have a new prince who steps up and is the prince for 6 months in the crown tournament, and then the king dies and the prince becomes the king.
All right. And you can't come back and do it again.
right. Just not in the next one.
Not in the next one.
Yeah,
you can't succeed yourself.
Right.
So
You have to.
You've obviously been at the SCA for a long time. What's your favorite aspect of the organization?
I don't know. I would have to say that it's the relationships. I mean, these people become like family to me. You know, I mean, closer than a lot of my own family. My knight is Sir Rashid, and he's like a dad to me. He's a Baba, I call him. You know, it means father. You know, it's just nice. Yeah. This is my war suit. It's got aluminum reinforced. This is a hidden kidney belt for just out of practice. There's no shoulder guards or anything in it. This one here gives me the shoulder guards, some better rib protection, better on the belly, in the back. So this I call my turtle suit because it keeps me rather safe.
This is when you get into like a melee battle.
Right.
As a knight, what is your responsibility to your squires?
Well, to be an inspiration to them first off. Secondly, to keep them on the right path. You know, to show them what's got to be done and what's expected of them. You know, to mentor as best I can. You know, that's what Rashid was to me, was a mentor. You know, I teach the fighting and stuff, but really it's the whole game. You know, that's how you would become a knight.
When you think about a knight, you think about things like chivalry, and honor, and what role does that play within the SCA?
Oh, that's big. I mean, that's what defines us as knights. You know, we carry that forward. Most of the SCA is European centric, so most of them have the European personas. So as a Mongolian, being barbarian, they didn't have a knight. They had a bagatur, which means hero, and that's about it. You know, but that was just not the same. You know, it's different. You know. I guess you could say their one real thing is Khan. You know, that means leader. You know, so you're a Khan of your family or whatever. You know.
Your persona is Mongolian.
Right.
Right. So, and I know just from knowing you, you can live the Mongol research. It is an integral part of who you are now.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
do you find inspiration in your persona? You know, for your mundane life, as it's called.
Definitely. I am not so much on the book skills type stuff. So reading and writing type stuff, I'm not that good at. So I really like the illiterate part of the Mongolian. So that's what part of brought me towards the barbarian side.
Part of the appeal, right?
You're right. Because I don't have to read or write.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, most of the artisan stuff, I think you probably got a picture of the bow that I made.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get a close up of it yet, but I want one.
Yeah.
I make stuff that's utilitarian, that works, you know, like these arms, you know, they work good. They're not super pretty. They're, you know, from 10 foot they look all right.
Yeah.
About where I...
main thing is they protect your arm. That's,
right.
You said, it's functional.
Utilitarian.
Yeah, so,
yeah. So I make stuff that works. more than you know, showpieces.
Great. Sir Motan, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you again.
You too.
I don't know how long we are.
This is Josh.
Hi Josh.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I love your plate. That is
Thank you.
awesome.
I try to focus on accuracy, but just do what I can with the limited budget I have. So
I
not all of
understand
it's
that.
perfect, but it's an approximation.
So what's your persona?
I do early 16th century Landsneck. If you want to be precise, it's 1515, because I do living history outside of the SCA.
Oh, nice.
So it's just around that general area. I do plus minus 5 years on each side.
That is cool. I'm impressed with your accuracy.
Thank you.
How long have you been in the SCA?
My mom right there has been in the SCA since before I was born. So I was
second
You
generation.
grew up in the SCA?
Yeah,
How
more or
awesome.
less.
Awesome. Yeah, you're one of those kids that grew up.
Yeah.
So did you youth fight and all that?
Not really. I really gained an interest of it when I was kind of 17, 18. And that's when I started getting more active again. So since then, about 5 years.
It's not hurting financially. 500 million? Yeah, it was a lot.
Remember they had that other site too that wasn't popular at all.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Connor.
Connor, this is Connor, and you are the
Prince.
The prince. So you are the incoming king for Gleann
In
Abhann.
April the 8th,
Yeah.
we'll have our coronation, where should something befall their majesties, which I mean, it always
It always seems
It
to
always-
happen.
it always seems to
About
happen.
twice a year.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
always seems to happen on schedule.
on
doesn't it?
schedule,
That
right?
always made me wonder, why do you want this job? Because you know
'Cause you
6
know-
months down the
Right.
road.
It's like watching the Titanic and thinking you're going to get a different ending.
Yeah.
No, Jack dies, and there was room on the piano.
So what does it mean to be a royal?
Yeah.
To be a royal, well, there's the obvious part where you win a crown list or a coronet list, and you ascend to be a prince and then later the king or queen. But what does it actually mean? I think it's a lot more. I mean, it's a, I don't know, there's a lot of pressure with it, I think, because you are the figurehead of the dream for everybody.
Oh, that is
Wow.
well put.
Yeah.
I know,
Pressure is
right?
on.
No pressure, honey.
No pressure.
With the royalty, but being a royal, this is my over the years, this is my third time. I was Prince of Gleann Abhann in 2001 when we were Principality. And then I was King 2 reigns ago with somebody else, not my lady. She was there. She was the busy bee worker. And then, no, this time, but each time's been different and fun, and this is, so far, by far, the best one.
You serve Prince and Princess at 6 months. Your dad and Prince.
Yeah, like you said, this is my first time actually in front of the thrones, not standing behind them, so it's a little bit different. There is a lot of work to it, and I think people need to understand how much work there is, not just for those sitting on the thrones, because it's very cool and it's awesome. You know, we're surrounded by our closest friends that are helping us out, but there's a lot of work. Entourage, retinue, our court. There's several words for it, but those folks put in a lot of time and effort and work to make sure that we can have that the royal face, the royal front of the historical look of we don't open doors and we don't pick up things, but things still have to be opened and moved and picked up, and so our entourage does a whole lot of work. And then behind the scenes, the royals do work that probably most people, unless they've worked entourage, don't see. Emails and letters and phone calls and teleconferences all the time. Yeah, and yes, and
New garb.
Right. If you don't already have a large closet of garb, certainly making more garb and just kind of upping your game so you look the part. But
and you get cool stuff like what's in your lap.
You do get cool stuff. Yes, this will be my debut war fighting, so I'm kind of excited. And Sir Motan made this crossbow for me. It's super cool, and I'm excited to maybe kill a few people or at least not fall down in the ravine.
Small victories.
Thank you. I mean,
Very much.
we got to be realistic. So, yeah, that's
Well,
all.
thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
But we wish you a successful
Thank
reign,
you.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
I
very
greatly
much.
appreciate it.
Okay, we've got to pack it in and head for home. It's getting into mid-afternoon, and we'd like to be home before midnight. So we're going to have to leave our SCA friends, but we hope you have enjoyed visiting with them as much as we have. And we thank each and every one of them for spending some time here with us on the MT and Me. That is going to be a wrap for this entire session. We are, like we said, going to head for home. We want to thank you for watching. Remember, we've got some links below about the SCA that you can find out more information. So be sure and check those out. While you're down there, click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and help us out here on our YouTube channel, all right? Be sure and give us a thumbs up, like and share this video, and join us again next time around. From Alexandria, Louisiana, I'm Russ, Reeves behind the camera. We will talk later.
Pound the drum for each death blow, the clash of metal ring, and the mighty ram is on the move. Oh, hail the Gleann Abhann! Upon the new claimed blood-soaked ground lie bodies, a feast for ravens. The mighty ram is on the move. Oh, hail the Gleann Abhann! Run, you fool, and don't look back. This flag's forever flying. The mighty ram shall not be moved. Oh, hail the Gleann Abhann!